into November. Snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Green Bay Packers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They go play action with Jackson. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got him in, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there on the first play of the game. It would appear these guys aren't fooling around. A big play on the second play from scrimmage.
Well, last night at our meeting, you said you thought that they would test the secondary early, but I don't know if you meant it on the second play of the game. I thought you meant, as we get into it a little bit, they decided to just come right out swinging.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Play action. Now Jackson. Flushed out right. And this one complete to Will Fuller. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. From the 29, Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team. So 4 plays, Charles, all passes here on the opening drive and already in the red zone. And even if you're planning for them to throw the football a lot, on the opening drive, if they go 4 for 4 on you, you're off balance on defense. I've been there before. And part of you keeps thinking, they've got to run it at some point, right? They've got them really mixed up at this point. If I were them, I'd keep pressing the advantage. They're throwing it really well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. It's Kelsey on the ground. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
He'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll look to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. First carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made. It's going to pin him back here at the 7-yard line. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the... And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
They go play action here on 1st down. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. Here's 2nd and 10. A give to Gibson running right. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover. For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Finding Ertz again. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll drop the throw. Able to find Lazard. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Second and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. First down and more for Jackson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Travis Kelce with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Coop, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. First drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Draymond Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. A handoff for Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They're going to look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Fighting through, and they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. On is the punter Charlton now as he's able to get this one away. Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion in the field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards,
fighting through it, he's got space. And he's got some space here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
The tackling in this game has not been good so far. We've seen our share of missed tackles. Case in point, that one right there. And that miss led to another big play. I don't know if it's effort, I don't know if it's technique, but they'll have to work on that in practice. And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Able to connect on the extra point. And it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a throw here to his running back. Escapes the defender. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. He'll look to throw. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Escaping the pressure right. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Jackson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now it's Jackson. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. This will be brought out from the middle of the... And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On second down, here's Gibson again. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know, the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now they'll switch it up. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Isaiah Simmons make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability and a sack result.
And he's going to go down again. Draymond Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
And he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Hands it off out of the gun. Finding room to the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Second and 9 now from the 21. They'll go again with Gibson. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
short. They'll try and pick it up through the air. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
At the 39-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Working with a 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door. And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw here complete to Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 31-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 12. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Now Jackson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On first down, Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
First down, Green Bay.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give running right, Gibson. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
The tackle made at the 47-yard line. A gain of 9 yards.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibson, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On second down, it's Gibson. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Forced out to his left. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, But they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Tackled by Isaiah Simmons. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.